Hello, quilt people and seekers of the world. How are you? I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Excited about today's topic, the immediacy of being. Oh, okay. What the heck does that mean? So each time I kind of come up with like a chapter title, it really speaks to like where I'm at in the work. And to be of the mind in understanding where you are in the work, you have to, like we've always talked about, right? Go through all of your limiting beliefs, go through all your core beliefs, go through all the things that are making you feel or act in a certain way. Now, this whole thing from the beginning has been to do what? It's been an exercise in becoming master and commander of you. Not becoming master and commander of the world. However, when you begin to become master and commander of you, you, by extension, become master and commander of the world. Like, it's the craziest thing. There's like this portal that you get to that opens up the world of possibility, that opens up manifesting, that opens up the possibility of miracles happening in the current conscious moment. You just got to know how to get there. The mind works in one of two ways. It has two modes. Your mind can either be in reactive mode or it can be in creative mode. Most people are in reactive mode without an idea of the concept of creative mode. They've never been shown a high-level teacher like Jesus Christ or Buddha walking through and being in creative mode where they're like, okay, this is happening in my world, this is happening in my world, this is what's happening in my world, right? And to the untrained eye and mind, that seems like God-like behavior. That seems like otherworldly. That seems like bringing the impossible to the possible, right? Because we have been poorly educated on how things actually work, at least to my understanding, at least to the understanding that I have arrived to today after years and years and years, like pretty much my whole lifetime of really breaking down the steps of manifesting in order to understand how to get it all to bend to my will, not me to its will. And becoming master and commander of your mind gets you there. It gets you to the point where you understand the difference between reactive mode and creative mode, because what? It's all you. It's all dependent upon you and how you're affecting the world, not how the world is affecting you. Big difference. Reactive mode is what most people are operating with, right? They're like, the news. They're like, my neighbor, this person, my boss or my job or whatever else. And they get triggered or respond to negative stimuli. That's reactive mode. So then you feel powerless because all these things are like coming at you, to which you're trying to respond to the best you can. But it becomes really overwhelming because you're out of control. You're reacting to the things that are happening because those things that are happening to you, you feel are not in your control. They are. All of it. They are in your control. You just haven't been shown where the dials are in order to control it. So that's reactive mode. It's very ego-based. It's very living in the problem as opposed to living in the solution. Conversely, creative mode, not that we're creating because we're manifesting, creation is already done. However, just for ease of conversation, creative mode is the difference between sitting in a room and having the room affect you versus sitting in the room and you affecting it. Can you do that? Is that possible? Have you ever experienced someone walk in the room and change the entire shift, like of the entire vibration of the room? Have you ever experienced someone like that? A lot of times it's celebrity level status, right? Those people who have gained that of themselves, because that's what it is, all wealth, power, popularity. All of this is granted to self by self. Those are very powerful people who have done that for themselves, to themselves. They understand how this works. So when you walk into a room, is it affecting you, or are you affecting it? The difference of those two things, the main point is attaching to. What are you attached to? Are you attached to the thoughts of others? The illusion of what they might be thinking? Are you attached to the actions of others? Are you attached to their words? Are you attached to the world? Are you attached to the politics? Are you attached to, like, what part of you is personally attached to by ego, right? Because it's the only way you can attach to a thing that's not you, right? That's the bridge. That if you insult this football team, you insult me kind of mentality, right? You're not the football team. You're you. And so when I first start working with people in a shamanic healing session, that's the first thing we try and get to. Like, where are you? Who are you? Find yourself in time and space. Like we started talking about, to individuate. I'm not sure if that's a word or not, but I like it. To individuate, right? To close off the world. It does not exist. It does not exist. I am attached to no one. And there is massive space between me, the world, the politics, its opinions, its thoughts. I do not care about them. I do not care about the world. I do not care about others in the same way that I care about myself. Because it all stems from that. Us learning to ultimately stand in our power and in, quite frankly, our own holiness. If you're going to a faith community that's not teaching you how to do that, go somewhere that is. Right? Go somewhere that is teaching you personal power, not to, be punished and to be deemed as wrong, or to be in any room that holds judgment over who you are. That is not healthy for you. Get out of there. And that's the, I think, experience that we're having right now in this country is really the difference between religion, which is very much steeped in judgment. Oh my gosh, it even has direct kill orders of all gay people per Leviticus 20:13. If you find two men having sex together like you would with a woman, you should kill them both. They have blood guilt on their hands. Okay, where do we go from that? Right? It's so heavy in judgment. It's so dense and dark. It's steeped in judgment. And it is devised to make you feel less than, so you will bow down and see yourself as worthless. At least in my experience of religion. Maybe you had something different. Maybe you didn't have to run for your life in order to avoid being institutionalized into conversion therapy. Maybe you have that privilege. I do not. So, the difference that we're having right now in this country between religion, really heavy, really steeped in a bunch of stuff, like read the book. And if you identify as a Christian, Mormon, or Jew, and you have never read your holy book, I highly suggest you do so to see if that stands in alignment with who you are. Because if your faith community is bigoted, so are you. There's no gray area there. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. I am not doing that anymore. You want to go participate in that, that's fine, but don't ever expect to feel like a safe person to me when you have your hands on literature that says me and my husband should be executed. Sorry, that doesn't work for me at all. And given the experience that I've had with traditional faith-based communities, it doesn't feel safe to me in any way or direction, and I would greatly appreciate if you never bring it up in my presence, please. It's super triggering for me. It's super upsetting, even still to this day, and that's why I'm in here doing all this work, right? Let's see if we can undo all of that messaging that I received as a young person that said I was not good, that I was an abomination, that I should be murdered along with anybody else that I am finding joy with. No, we're not doing that anymore. So, to have the mindset of creativity as opposed to reaction, When you're in creative mode, what are you doing? Right? When you're in creative mode, what are you doing? You're having fun. It's your imagination expressing itself. It's your soul expressing itself. It's who you are, right? In here, having fun and playing and being creative. It's a beautiful process, right? When you're in creative mode, you are adjusting that which is around you to your will, to your thoughts, to the expression of who you are. To be in creative mode with the world requires a level of personal power that, go back and watch my old videos, right, how to get there, requires a level of personal power that we often have not seen modeled. You have to feel bigger than your problems. That's how personal power is measured. Are you bigger than your problems, or are your problems bigger than you? You got to get yourself to the place where you're bigger than your problems. And how do you get there? Well, it's all self-granted. The whole thing, right? Like I was talking about before, the celebrities, they have all self-granted to themselves wealth, being important, being seen, right? Being heard. That was all given to them by them, and the universe delivered. You can do that too. Again, we just need to know the rules of the game. In order to manifest in real time, and this is the thing, we're all manifesting our entire lives, every single bit of it, even the stuff you don't like, because we've associated the stuff we don't like in our lives with being bad or negative, and it's not. And that's the hardest part to kind of get your mind around, is that as you start to get into the manifesting work, stuff will happen in your life that's tearing down, falling apart, relationships going away, that feels super painful, that you're like, this isn't right, but in fact, it is. When you start to manifest on that level, be ready for change. And change comes with a lot of pain often. Right? Look at all the things I've been in here manifesting. Everything from money to joy to a life of ease to, all of this stuff that I have been in here actively working on because I am in creative mode. My future is up to me. It's not happenstance or chance. Look at all that I've been able to manifest so far. As the quilting cowboy, I now have a 5-acre ranch. Woohoo! That's paid off. And I have the entire upper floor here of an old barn to use as my sewing studio. Could anything be more perfect? No, it could not. I did that. From here, in creative mode. My future is being dialed into by my ask, and my ask can only happen in the now. And that's the entire point of this video that I had been missing. Because I was trying to manifest a future. But the problem with that is that you're trying to manifest something that's not happening now. You're trying to manifest something that's happening in the future. So the universe is getting the message that you want something that's happening in the future, not in the now. I need now money. Now money. Not future money. Now money. Right? In order to get there, you have to have now thoughts and now experiences. In order for the universe to go, oh, you want it now, not 10 years from now. Because, like we talked about, the timeline is imaginary. There is no past. You have no story. You don't know where you grew up or who your siblings were. That is all illusion. And well, sure, you did experience some of that, sure. There is, memories of what happened. It is no longer real. It is no longer happening. It happened, therefore it is now only illusion of thought. There's no substance there. There's no there. There's no here there. That's the problem. And so my teacher was kind enough to point out, and he's like, oh, you keep trying to manifest things in the future, and so it'll always be coming to you in the future instead of in the now. It'll never arrive to the now, which is what you're actually seeking, right? You want now money, not some amorphous, ethereal idea, a concept of a plan, something that might happen in this perceived illusion known as the future. Again, there's nothing tangible there that I'm attaching to. It's the idea of my North Star. I've always had a North Star that all my words and actions have to live in service to in order to bring that future desire into the now. And it's not even a future desire, it's just a desire. And again, to attach anything to a timeline is incorrect. The immediacy of being has to happen here and now, not talking about something in the future or something in the past. So I have to rework all of my languaging, and your languaging of what you're doing is how you really start to bring into today that which you seek. It's the idea of a vision board. Why do vision boards work? I was actually reviewing this in my mind the other day because I was walking through my beautiful farmhouse, right, with my Great Danes and my husband and this incredible view that we have looking out into the mountains. By the way, it was 37 degrees this morning. Oh my God, it's middle of September. So cold. Anyhow, focus. So I was walking through my house and I was just feeling so super blessed. So super blessed for what I was having right now, which was only a dream 5 years ago. I manifested this farm, this life, right? Because I was really clear that that was always the life that I wanted. That's why I called myself the quilting cowboy, right? It was always a vision, a dream that I had for myself, that I wanted to live with trees on property, with acreage, with land, to be the steward of property. I got it, didn't I? I got it. I got it. And it's even paid off. I mean, that's just like the freakiest thing. And so when you look at that to which you were trying to manifest 5 years ago, which now has arrived, you got to look at the steps that got you there, because you did that. Nobody else did that. And while we can look at bridges of incident, which is this happened, then this happened, then this happened in order to get me there, that's not it. That's not what actually got you there, right? The perception of our lives is the most important thing. The perception of what you're languaging is manifesting. How you describe your life online to friends, wherever, how you describe your life is manifesting. So describe it accurately without tons of details. I mean, you can get into the details if you want, but it's not super helpful, right? It kind of slows down the whole process. Complaint and specificity slow down the manifesting process. Like if I had said, well, okay, I want 6.5 acres. It has to be north of Lake Elsinore, and it has to be flat. And then, like if I got into that level of details, that would have probably taken more time in order to materialize. But because I was light with the ask, right? And I was not tethered to the details, that I was like just acreage, right? And a happy family. And I had this vision of me and my family in the car driving down our own private road off the public road to our house, which is quite a distance, right? We have a long road. And I had this vision of it. It was Christmas time and we were all excited and we were all wrapped up in the car, and it was cold outside and it was snowing and there's pine trees, right? I had the whole vision, but that was just the one inkling, right? That's just the one snapshot that I held for me and my family to be that blessed. And it's here. So I was walking around my house the other day, and I was thinking about the things that I had actually stuck on a vision board in order to achieve that thing. Why do vision boards work? Because it's one of the few times we actually take what's out of here and bring it into the physical, this world, right? There has to be something to attach to. Your ask has to be grounded on this plane, the physical plane, not up here. That's a different place to live. You have to bring what's up here out into the 3D world of Earth. And so doing a vision board and attaching these little printed photos on a board, right? and just, showing yourself, okay, this is what I want, put it on the board. This is what I want, put it on the board. This is what I want, put it on the board. And then you stick it up on the wall and you look at it and you're like, that's my future. The only thing is, it can't be in the future. It has to be in the now. And that's where I was kind of falling down, right? Because again, I was trying to manifest this future, right? That's what my life is going to look like in 5 years. But the ask of what you want in 5 years has to be languaged in the here and now. Otherwise, the universe doesn't understand it. That's why being grateful is like a really quick way to kind of stamp that ask into the ethers. Because gratitude says to the universe, thank you for my farmhouse that's paid off, right? And so the universe then starts, and it's like, oh, your house is paid off? Oh, right, okay, sorry about that, here we go. And so it kind of catches up to the fait accompli that you have said exists, because it does. And that's the power. It's all in harnessing your thoughts and your vibe and your language. Those things are the most important. So let's look at my books, right? I could manifest, I'm going to be a great author. And then, the universe will be like, great, in the future, 5 years from now, we'll just keep, moving it away. 5 years from now, another year, 5 years from now, 5 years from now, right? And we're always operating in this future. That doesn't work. That doesn't get it to you. That keeps it from you. Do you see how that keeps it from you? Because it's always happening 5 years in the future. But you're not happening 5 years in the future. You're happening here and now. You can only happen in the here and now. And therefore, that's where all the power lives. So you got to get your ask into the now. I am a great author. I am a famous author. I am an extremely wealthy author. I am somebody who produces books that easily get turned into movies that sell millions and millions and millions of copies. Do you see the difference? The immediacy of your being, the immediacy of your ask, all has to be here and now. Abandon the timeline, especially in your ask of that which you seek. Additionally, do not speak of it once you make the ask of the universe. Do not speak of it. To do so is to keep it from you. To speak of that which you do not have or that which you seek is to keep it from you. Oh, he's looking for it. He doesn't have it. I have it. Right? I'm a famous author. I'm a wealthy author. I am all these things. So when you're asking of something of the universe, when you're actually actively trying to manifest, keep it attached to I am. I am a best-selling author. Well, I actually am now. So, right, manifested that too, right? I am whatever you want. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise, right? And like we talked about before, you just continue to bless yourself with those things and bring it in. That's how you manifest here in the now. Here now, here and now, here and now, right? It's not a future that we're trying to manifest. We're trying to manifest something here and now, instant manifestation. And though it may take a little bit of time, instant manifestation is actually ultimately where we're getting to. And it's understanding the rules of quantum physics, quite frankly, of how you step from one reality into the next reality. And that's all done up here. We live in the physical world, but we don't manifest in the physical world. And that's the difference between striving and aligning. The old way is to hustle, work, knock on doors, make phone calls, blah, 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 get it, 12 hours a day, just, knocking it out of the park and hustling and striving and chasing and doing all of these earth-bound activities because we're on Earth and we understand Earth time, Earth hustle, earth try, earth effort, right? It's because we have abandoned an entire line of communication that indigenous people had that we in the Western world said, oh yeah, we don't need that. But it's available to us. If you study animal tracking, I know, super like, where did that come from? Right? But in shamanism, everything is spirit, right? And when I was taking our little course in animal tracking, because in my shaman school that I went to, they really introduced us to just about everything that you could do under the big tent of shamanism. I do channeling. They have a bunch of other ways to do that, everything from speaking with the dead to ancient songs, strumming and rattles to... Anyways, there's a lot of different ways to experience that. So when we were doing our little animal tracking class, and the first thing they ask you to do is to kind of adopt the journeying state. And that's something that's really important because it's a different place of thinking than our Western world mind, our Western world mindset. So when you go out into the woods and you're tracking animals, right, there's a whole different source of input that you are encouraged to tap into, right, to get in touch with. How do I know, right, like real Jedi stuff, like how do I know what's around me? Am I listening? But where am I listening from? Am I listening from my ears? Or am I listening from a deeper place? And that's ultimately shamanism. Shamanism is walking into a room and knowing it feels off, right? That sense, that sixth sense, that is shamanism. And that is the portal of information that we need to get back to because it's attached to spirit, right? So if you're out in the woods trying to find dinner and you're animal tracking, right, you have to almost abandon the five senses in exchange for the sixth, right? In exchange for I know what is around me. I can feel and sense what is around me. I can tap into that inkling which tells me go that way, not that way. That's it. That's the whole thing. And that's ultimately how you manifest, is in the present moment with a conscious level of thinking that abandons thinking. Right? You can't think and be in stillness at the same time. Practice being in stillness. That's why we meditate, right? To abandon thought is the goal. Everything you seek, everything in life, everything you want in life can be found on the other side of stillness. Your sense of wholeness, your sense of oneness, right? Everything that you seek to imbue into your own personal vibration can be found there. And you can just sit there in stillness and grant yourself all the blessings and grant yourself all the power and grant yourself how big you need to be in order to be bigger than your problems. And all of that only happens in the here and now. Here and now. Focus there. Don't try and manifest a future. Try and manifest it in the now. Now, it might take time to come to you, right? There might be days and days and days where the universe is aligning itself to your ask and removing people, which feels super painful, and having jobs go away. And you're like, oh, why is my life falling apart? Because I asked for this really big thing and the universe is changing everything around me and this feels wrong and I don't know what's going on. Because you're not in control. Get in control. I choose that. I choose that. I will never choose that. In fact, that doesn't exist in my world. Do it for you. Become master and commander of your own mind. They do not matter. They do not exist. They are not there for you. They are there for themselves. And you are here for yourself, right? To unburden yourself. To train your mind to only deliver you that which you want, to deliver you nothing but joy and happiness. But we don't think we have that kind of power. And yet, if you're having a moment where you're feeling anxious about the future or feeling bad about something that happened in the past, can you choose a different thought? Because that's all you need in order to be master and commander of you. Like we talked about before, if you're sitting in a beautiful room, yet experiencing chaos, yet experiencing that which you do not enjoy, can you change the channel to another thought? Can you go, coffee. Oh yeah, I love coffee. Oh, that's right. Coffee exists. I love coffee. Or quilts, right? Oh, what am I going to do for my next project, right? And so once you start going down the rabbit hole of thinking, which causes you chaos and pain, right? That's the way out. Choose a different thought. Get back into alignment, because joy and happiness will speed up your manifesting, whereas complaint will slow it down. Complaint, justice, being right, or needing anything or anyone is what to abandon. Abandon all of that. Become so self-regulated and so self-sustaining, knowing that if there is anything you do not have in your life, it's because you yourself haven't granted it to yourself. Don't look outside of you for anything. For anything, do not look outside of yourself. Again, that which you do not have is that which you haven't granted to self. So grant it to yourself. Give it to you. Give everything you want. All the fame, all the glory, all the cash and prizes, all the fun, all the sex, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It just has to be true. Abandon need. Abandon others. Abandon thought. Abandon justice, abandon being right. Justice is a big one. But I'm right. These people need help. No, they don't. That's not up to you. That's none of your business. Keep it about you. Don't keep it about them. Don't keep it about the world. Don't keep it about others, ever. They're not worth it. They're not worth the cost of your inner peace. Let nobody steal your inner peace from you. Prioritize that first and foremost. Inside, be still water. Still water. Still water, right? Still water. That's what I grant to myself. Peace, inner peace, blessings, beauty, joy, right? Money, wealth, happiness, abundance. Right? I give it all to myself. That's not anybody else's job. It's my job. I'm getting really good at it. Hooray! So that's kind of where we are today. I wanted to thank you for that. I did also want to mention that I have a bunch of quilts and patterns for sale on my Etsy shop. So if you're all, heading into the holidays or whatever, I have a bunch of new quilts now posted for sale, as well as, all my traditional patterns and things like that. Or if you want anything custom, you can always email me at quiltingcowboy@gmail.com. But yeah, that's where we are today. I hope that you're enjoying it. I might go and do another video for Quilting Cowboy. It's been years, but I have so many followers there. I'm like, I should probably leverage this. It's over 11,000 followers I have on the YouTube channel. I haven't been on it for years, but who knows? Maybe that's where I should head next and see if we can't rekindle some of those relationships after I kind of all told them to go to hell. Oops. Not helpful. Not helpful at all. Anyhow, I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.